MrTransformers96 here with another review. This time I am going to review the first trailer for Avengers 2 Age of Ultron, so here you go. So very excited to get this. We've been hearing rumors about this. I heard a rumor that they were going to play it in front of Interstellar, and then, some rumors that they were going to play it in front of Age of Ultron, and really what I was expecting to happen was that in front of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Did I say Agents of Ultron? I might have said that. But in front of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that they'd play like a 20-second preview trailer. So we get, a couple nice glimpses, and then, the title at the end and everything like that. And then the day Interstellar comes out, which is November 7th, so we get the trailer on the 6th, they'd come out with a full minute trailer. That's what I was really expecting. I did not expect a full, 2-minute complete actual trailer. I expected it to be very much a teaser trailer, to get a couple glimpses, a lot of the Avengers and not so much, Hulkbuster and Ultron. I expected like the end scene to be the Hulkbuster suit. They just show it at the end. So that's what I was expecting. So it was very crazy to get this. So the plan was to actually show this full thing in front of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It got leaked yesterday, and when it got leaked, Marvel just put out the trailer so that, because they knew everybody was going to see the trailer, so they might as well see it in the best quality that they can. And I believe on Twitter they put they tweeted "Damn it, Hydra" for leaking it, which I thought was very clever and funny. So they're just great sports, it seems like. So yeah, so very excited to get this trailer. Gonna be playing it, gonna be talking about it, and yeah, so let's get started here. All right, and I was really blown away by this trailer, I have to say. Nice little cityscape there you got. Now, okay, so we've got some things to talk about. First of all, James Spader is the one narrating this trailer. Very excited for that. James Spader is a great actor. I watch on Blacklist, which is he's the star of at the moment of that show, and I really do enjoy the actor, and I think that he is really perfect to play Ultron. I'm surprised they're not editing his voice more. There's a couple moments at the end of what he's saying in this beginning of the trailer where they kind of have some static at the end to give it more of a robotic feel, but I'm surprised that it's very much just straight up his voice. I did not expect that. I thought that they would definitely be tweaking it quite a bit, and maybe even him talk with some different mannerisms, but he really isn't. He's really just talking, which I think is kind of cool, and he's got a perfect voice for him. This scene right here is rather interesting. You've got a robotic arm with something melting off of it. Not quite sure what this is going to be. My guesses would either be this is him upgrading his armor. Now, it's kind of strange and a little unrealistic for him to upgrade it by melting off like a piece of bad armor or something. So I'm not 100% sure if that's going to be the case. Maybe it's him building his Ultron army, and this is him forging the metal and everything like that, and that might be a possibility. Or it's going to be like they shoot him with something big at the end, and everybody thinks he's dead, and they're all looking at a cloud of black, and then all of a sudden he gets up with all this fire and all this stuff melting off of him because he survived the attack, and then they have their quick final battle. So those are my three guesses as to what the scene is. No matter what it turns out to be, it certainly looks awesome, I can tell you that. Got a nice picture of the back of Captain America. Overall, Captain America's new suit, I think it looks really nice. It's an update of the Avengers suit, which I like. They're kind of separating the individual movies compared to the Avengers movies themselves, because this isn't an update of his Captain America suit. This is an update of his Avengers suit, which I do like, considering this is a follow-up to the Avengers movie. Overall, looking nice. A great shot of Hawkeye. I don't know what it is, just every shot of Hawkeye in this trailer, he seems to have a lot of dark around his eyes. I don't know what that's about. Maybe, he's having trouble sleeping or something, or they just put too much makeup on him. I don't know. He's got a lot of darkness around his eyes, though, but he does look quite good. And, of course, you do hear Ultron say you all want to, or I'm paraphrasing, I'm not quite sure what he says, but he says, you all want to save the world, but you're not willing to change it, type of thing. And this is because, Ultron, mainly his motives are going to be the fact that he needs to kind of wipe out humanity to kind of save the world, at least wipe out most of it. I'm not 100% sure on his plan, but that's basically what he's saying. He's trying to protect the world, but to protect the world, he needs to change it, and you guys aren't willing to do it, basically. A really nice scene here. I guess this is in the new Quinjet. Got a lot of chairs here, and the chairs are colored that cream white, which is the color of the toy that they did show at New York Comic Con. So I'm assuming that toy that we see, they're in that right now, and that's the color of the ship itself. Looks cool. I mean, you know, obviously we don't see Hawkeye. Possibly he's driving. I'd assume that, and Iron Man we don't see, so that's kind of interesting. Maybe Iron Man's up there with him or something, but they all look quite disheveled. I'm guessing this is going to be after one of their middle battle scenes. Maybe they lose a battle or something, and you know, this is them kind of messed up. Or possibly this is after the Hulk versus Hulkbuster, because Hulk looks, or Bruce Banner looks a little messed up there. He might be really like freaking out because he hurt Robert Downey Jr. or something, and that's why Iron Man's not there. So that might be it. Those are my guesses, though. So yeah, let's keep going. Great scene, you know, with James Spader saying you're all puppets. This looks really cool, I have to say. I love the very damaged Ultron. We were told, you know, we were kind of explained. The people who saw the Comic-Con footage that was shown months back did say something about seeing like a kind of destroyed or in the process of being made Ultron that looked very creepy. So, you know, my imagination was just thinking about stuff, and so it's really neat to actually get to see it in person. Looks sick. I think that this Ultron looks really awesome, and, you know, he looks really messed up, quite messed up. I like the way they did the mouth and the eyes, make it look very evil. He does have an Avengers A on his right, or on his left chest plate, which is interesting because he's obviously supposed to be like a Avengers police officer, basically, to police the world. Walking very creepily. We get all the Avengers together, they're looking cool. I definitely like to see them all hanging out. Now, the woman who's in front of Don Cheadle right there, I don't know who it is. There's two people in this party that I'm not quite sure who they are. They really, nobody quite knows. Very creepy. You can see the A quite clearly there. I really do like him. Okay, so here's the full scene of everybody that's there. As you can see, we've got Hawkeye, Iron Man, War Machine, question mark, Captain America, Thor, question mark, Black Widow, and Bruce Banner. And Bruce Banner and Black Widow are together. That this trailer really confirms the rumor that they are dating, and which I think is a little strange. I definitely would prefer her and Hawkeye. I'm sure eventually we'll get to that point, but I don't see them together. You know, it just doesn't seem to fit. I don't know. I hope the movie will convince me otherwise, and it probably will. So yeah. But who these people are, I don't know. There's somebody that we know, although I believe, yeah, Agent 13 is blonde, I believe. But the one from the Captain America movie, maybe she's there. I'm not quite sure. Possibly there's so many guys that maybe they actually wanted to throw in a couple women in the scene, so it wasn't just a bunch of guys and then Black Widow. I don't know, but they might be important. They might be completely unimportant. This is neat. You know, we get. Why is there a broken Iron Man suit there? Possibly how they all turned around was because Ultron, this puppet version, threw one of his armors through a window or something, and then he walked out. Otherwise, I really don't see a good reason why there's a destroyed one here. Maybe the Avengers were just messing around, you know, like fighting his suits just for fun or something like that. I don't know. That's a possibility, but I'm not quite sure. We'll have to see. It does say 04 on his back. This is pretty interesting. You know, because he's obviously not the Mark 40, and it does say 04, so I'm thinking that all of Iron Man's armors post him removing the arc reactor and destroying all of his armors will be 0 something, because, you know, eventually with these movies we're going to get up to like 70 if we keep just going in order, so possibly he's doing 01, 02, 03, that type of thing, and he'll probably have like 5 armors in this movie, excluding the Ultron armors, of course. So that's kind of interesting. This helmet does seem to be a slight cross between like a Mark 7 and then a Heartbreaker, because he does have this side like flap that's on the Heartbreaker, which is kind of interesting. Really cool. He destroys his helmet. As you can see, get a better look at that 04. Really do like the colors on this guy. It's pretty neat. I'm sure that he'll not be important, but it is cool. And I love how the helmet pops off of it, or the mask pops off of it. He looks at the helmet, super creepy, awesome. Alright, talking about the music, of course, it is the song from Pinocchio, but sung in a very creepy voice. I think that this is just brilliant. I absolutely love when they do this type of stuff. Just any movie does that type of stuff. And I think that this is done really tastefully, and I really do enjoy that tremendously. I'm hoping this is not just trailer music, and that we will hear this in the actual movie. My guess is on kind of why Ultron is quoting Pinocchio and stuff is possibly when Iron Man is trying to teach Ultron emotions, or just try to give him some feeling, almost like Jarvis, so that he has compassion for people, and he can kind of watch over the world when they can't, which is basically why Iron Man creates Ultron. So I'm hoping, or I'm thinking that possibly he shows him videos, or just like keeps the TV on for him just so he can like measure his emotions to see if he's getting any reaction to anything, or it's for some reason, some way, Ultron will see Pinocchio or just hear this song and start to think almost in a very creepy fashion. I could totally see just like the almost finished Ultron just kind of like in a corner, just like hanging up or something, and then just starts looking at his wires on his arm, and as the song is singing about strings and being attached by strings and stuff like that, and just kind of get that I'm a puppet and I should be free type of feel. That would be really cool. I'm hoping this song is definitely used quite a lot in the movie. Considering Ultron is singing it, I think it has to be used in the movie for some, because there's a reason he's singing it, obviously. As you can see, we do have the Mark 43 or the Mark 01, or just whatever mark this is. It's basically the Mark 42 with some better paint applications, so it's kind of interesting. We also get some more foreign landscapes, which I think is great. We have plenty of fights in a city, so it is nice to get better fight, or more of the action sequences and more of the locations in different areas of the world. Changes up a bit and doesn't make it so same old, same old. We have a lot of police here. I'm assuming these are the police that are shooting at Hulk, or shooting at something during the Hulkbuster and Hulk fight. I will go in more to that when we get there. And more foreign landscapes, and we do have the tank there, possibly Hydra. This possibly after Bruce Banner he turns into a Hulk, and he's obviously goes back, and I'm not quite sure. This is the same landscape that we see Hawkeye in. I believe that this is going to be a setting for a whoa, okay, my TV just turned on. There we go. Sorry about that. So I believe this will be a setting for a Hydra fight, because the people who are shooting like the lasers very much look like they could be Hydra, and they're shooting lasers. So I have to assume that they're Hydra. So maybe we'll get a Hulk fight with that. I do love this thing, the wheel with the has the what do you call this? A little circle inside the wheel that's not like on correctly, so it's swiveling. Looks really neat. Very creepy. Great scene here. I'm assuming this is in the warehouse that we kind of see at the end of Captain America 2 at the Hydra base. We've got Ultron there just looking back. You can see the height of Ultron. He is quite tall, which is very cool. Looking back at Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver, because of course they start out being villains and they'll go to heroes later. They look pretty cool. Great scene right here. We have the Ultron drones, or whatever you want to call them. Very cool looking. They look like Ultron, but slightly different, and blue instead of red lights. Very cool. Very excited to see them in the movie. I hope and think that they will be much cooler than the Chitauri. I hope that they stand their own. I'm kind of tired of seeing the Sakaran, the Hydra, the Dark Elves, the Chitauri. I hate seeing them being in the movie just for the good guys to beat up. I want them to be at least somewhat of a challenge and not so just easy to kill. Extremists. I mean, there's just so many of them. And there's a lot of the bad guys too. They look awesome crawling up, and then we'll see some more flying out. They are flying out of water, which is kind of interesting. And this might be that they were built in a secret base, possibly by Andy Serkis, who will be playing, speculation is that he will be playing Claw. And And the reason that Claw would kind of fit into the storyline is Claw builds his mechanical cannon arm, or whatever that is, out of a certain type of metal that apparently Ultron builds his drones out of. So possibly Ultron and Andy Serkis will be working together to create these drones, and then maybe Claw will be kind of a Easter egg as to the Black Panther movie, if they do one, because apparently Claw is a villain of Black Panther, so possibly this would be confirming a Black Panther movie in the near future. But overall, there's some reason they're coming out of water. I doubt. There has to be some type of secret base, or they're just like sneaking up on some place to attack. They just look sick, though. Great shot of the Avengers. And I'm not quite sure what armor this is, just one of his random armors. It doesn't seem to hold much significance. You do have the A right there. Okay, this is actually something I'm just noticing while watching it now. Possibly this is his first attempt at an Ultron type of a robot that kind of polices the world, and possibly this guy, doesn't have emotions, and he goes to kill somebody, so they have to destroy him, and that's why he decides he needs to build Ultron and give him feelings to be able for that not to happen. That's just a guess, though. Could be completely wrong. As the end of the path I started us on, because Iron Man creates Ultron. Good shot of Nick Fury, obviously looking quite different from what his usual look. Very neat. I was a little skeptical at what kind of role he's going to play in this movie. I believe that his role, or at least I'm guessing his role, is going to be more of a cameo type of thing. S.H.I.E.L.D.'s not around, and I'm kind of glad that we're getting not S.H.I.E.L.D. I want the Avengers just to be by themselves and have nobody to count on, and not some magical, big organization that can help them always. So I would like to start seeing less and less of Nick Fury. I love Samuel L. Jackson. I like the character Nick Fury, but I think his character has run its course for the most part, and until we get a movie that's just focusing on Black Widow, Hawkeye, or just S.H.I.E.L.D. itself, I think we need to start phasing him out of the universe at least, and just give him cameo roles instead of actual, secondary roles in movies. Get a nice picture of Scarlet Witch just screaming in an area. I'm not sure what this is going to be about. Possibly this is after she learns, or she becomes good, and she's just kind of screaming over some of the stuff that she's done, or just being held in captivity for so long, or maybe they did experiments on her and she's just kind of getting some stuff out, maybe, I don't know. Okay, great scene here. We have the Hulkbuster leg. Very cool. Now, I was expecting the Hulkbuster to be the money shot of the trailer. I expected it to be the last scene in the trailer, and I'm so happy it isn't. I'm so happy they focused more on Ultron, but we do get plenty of good looks at Hulkbuster. Now, I'm not quite sure. It's hard to tell. I guess these guys, the police, are shooting at Hulk, which is why Iron Man's trying to go and stop him. The only thing that's a little weird is that Hulk isn't looking at the people shooting at him. Maybe he's surrounded from all sides, or who knows what. But overall, very cool scene. Get a nice, good look at Hulk. He doesn't look any different. The only thing that's different about the appearance of Hulk is that his pants are no longer shredded. They're just tight. And I've heard some people say that his pants actually grow and shrink with him. I hope that's not the case, because that sounds extremely cheesy and just stupid. It would be fine if they just ripped the pants a bit, or just had them get really tight. I don't care. But I hope they don't actually grow with him. That's just dumb, in my opinion. Great picture of the Hulkbuster. Pretty intense. Now, I've been excited to see the Hulkbuster, but I always knew, the Hulkbuster, he's going to look cool, but there's going to be no wow factor about him. He's going to be kind of almost exactly what we expect. But the thing that really changed it, and something that we all didn't expect, at least I think we didn't, I didn't certainly, is that Iron Man would be in an Iron Man suit in the Hulkbuster. Very crazy. I'm not quite sure if they're going to give you a solid reason as to why that's the case, but I think it's awesome. I mean, maybe they're just going to have Hulk just completely destroy the Hulkbuster, so that's why they have him in another suit, so that you kind of understand that, Tony Stark's obviously not dead when he destroys the Hulkbuster suit. I don't know. It looks like there might be individual arc reactors kind of powering his different limbs because they're so big. I don't know, something like that. He looks awesome. He looks really cool. And crazy enough, this is going to work like the Mark 42, where the pieces are actually going to fly to it. Not something that I'd expect, and I think that's a little cheesy, but overall still pretty awesome. And the reason that we know that it kind of all comes to him and it kind of builds itself is the fact that, look at his arm here, there's no gold piece. We could play. As you can see, the gold piece flew and attached itself to the arm. We'll get a better view of it in a second. And speaking of that, there are the everything is kind of coming in place, very much like Ironmonger. And there we go. As you can see now, the gold arm pieces are on him, and then the full head is attached. Just the look of Hulkbuster is fantastic. It is so great because it completely stays true to the comics, but giving a realistic movie feel, which I think is fantastic. Also, I love the lighting of this fight. It's got a very golden kind of yellow background to the whole thing, which I think is just wonderful. We're so used to getting fights at, as the sun is going down or when it's dark or just in full daylight. To get a very kind of almost like a dim light, but a yellowish type of light is wonderful, and I really do love it, I have to say. We've got Black Widow dropping from a helicopter with a motorcycle. Pretty neat. Nothing too much to say though. We've got I'm guessing this isn't Ultron. I mean, it might be, but I'm guessing that this is just a random Ultron drone who is attacking Captain America. I'm assuming that he's going to be like trying to get to him, but Captain America is going to be just trying to hold him off with the shield, and then Quicksilver is just knocking into the drone. It's probably going to send him flying out the side of this train, I'm assuming. Sick picture. We've got an awesome picture of the Scarlet Witch actually using her powers. I have to say, just on a kind of separate note, I really love the costume for Scarlet Witch. I think it's perfect. I think it's very realistic. She's not wearing, like a superhero costume. She's wearing something that I wouldn't be shocked if I saw somebody wearing this just on the street. It just seems like normal clothes, but obviously styled in a way that it complements her comic appearance. And I think it's wonderful. I love the clothes, and I'm very much excited to get a Hot Toys version of her. And one thing that's nice is, just speaking purely about Hot Toys here, is that her sleeves and her kind of leggings, they come over her knees and her elbows. So Hot Toys won't have to do her knees or elbows in a soft plastic. They will be able to just do sculpted joint because her clothing is just long enough to hide the actual joint. So I'm very happy about that. Okay, I don't know what this is. It looks like a bunch of ships, but I guess this is water. It looks concrete to me. I guess it's just really dirty water. Maybe, oh, you know what? My guess is that this is where Andy Serkis's kind of secret lab is, where he is creating the Ultron drones, and it's underwater. That's my guess here. It's like there's just a little elevator under a boat or something crazy like that. So that's my guess. Speaking of Andy Serkis, here he is. As you can see, looking pretty neat. Got a sick beard there, but he very much looks like Claw, which is one of the main reasons that people are assuming that it is Claw. I mean, I did see a picture of this picture next to a comic picture of Claw, and he looks identical. I mean, he's got the same beard, the same style and color of clothing. I'd be surprised if he isn't just Claw. Overall, love Andy Serkis though, and if he isn't Claw, it would be very interesting to see who he actually turns out to be. Nice picture of Captain America once again on a motorcycle. I'm trying to think if there's a single movie with Captain America where he's not on a motorcycle. Cool picture of Thor just really just going crazy in some water there. Not quite sure what that's about. It looks like he's in a cave or something. Not quite sure, but we'll see when it comes out. Okay, another pic. This is really cool. I mean, if they are going to do a Black Widow, Bruce Banner kind of romance, this is a cool thing to do where, she's actually kind of interacting with his Hulk, personality and kind of almost taming him, it looks like, and they're putting their hands together. I think it's quite wonderful. So if they were going to go with this route, which, it looks like they are, they're doing it very well, I have to say. They couldn't have done it better, to be quite honest. From this trailer, it seems at least. We've just got a random ballet in the middle of all of this. I wonder what this is about. Possibly one of these women is actually one of the people at the Stark Tower. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay, this is what I was saying is probably going to be Hydra. I'm assuming that this is Hydra. They look like they could be Hydra, and they're firing weapons that I would be shocked if they're not Hydra, because we know that Hydra's going to be in the movie. Maybe Von Strucker is there with them at the moment. So I'm sure that this is going to be Hydra. My guess is that this happens in the beginning of the movie, because we have heard reports that all of the Avengers, with Don Cheadle as War Machine, will be going and taking out the base where Von Strucker is, and maybe taking the scepter, maybe taking the twins, just doing something like that. That's the first reports of the movie. That it really just basically picks up right where the end credits of Captain America leave off. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is them invading the Hydra base, and then after they do that, they go home and, you know, try to lift Thor's hammer and do all the just have fun, you know. So that's my guess. Again, like I said, we do have Hawkeye running through the forest. I'm sure this is the exact same scene. You know, I'm sure the Hydra people are shooting at him. It looks exactly the same. Again, a lot of eye makeup on that. We've got a very intense Thor here. This is really cool. Thor choking out our favorite Iron Billionaire. Very neat. We'll have to see what that's all about, because this isn't just them arguing. This is them really actually going at it. A really interesting landscape here. I'm assuming this is in either Hydra's base or Claw's laboratory, something like that. There's a lot of interesting, it looks like technology in the background, not something that we see every day, so it'll be interesting to see what this is. She is looking up, so possibly to somebody standing on top of something. Maybe she's looking at something, or maybe she's looking at Hulk. It might be a Hulk here. We'll have to see. Or Ultron, actually. We got a great picture here of Hulk throwing a car at the Hulkbuster. Hulkbuster grabs it, and then Hulk just smashes right into him. Super sick. I love that they picked up the Pinocchio song right here in the trailer, and as they're going, when Pinocchio or whatever gets to, and now I'm free, Ultron comes in and says, and now I'm free, along with it, and he says it wonderfully. Really do love it. Captain America running from a flipping car. Got some screaming people. We've got Quicksilver, Scarlet Witch doing their thing. We've got the Hulk busting through a fruit stand. How original. Now, and then going to fight. There we go. It's a great picture. He looks shiny as hell. I really do love it. I hope that the Hot Toys one really represents the shine that that gold seems to give off. Wonderful. Bam! That's a money shot for you. This is the type of shot that I expected to be the last shot of the trailer, so the fact that it isn't is very happy to me. Alright, love that scene. Of course, we did have reports that apparently Iron Man is laying on the ground, looks up, and he sees a fallen Thor and a Captain America shield split in half. Most likely won't actually be what's happening. Most likely it'll be his hallucinations, his dreams about his guilt of creating Ultron. But if it is actually something that's happening, it's pretty intense right there. And we do have Ultron say there are... Amazing, absolutely love it, woohoo! This is the final shot of the trailer, and it is a beautiful one. There are no strings on me, hashtag there are no strings on me. Love it. I have to say, a great quote, and it really just shows that, you know, you can't control me anymore, so I'm gonna kick your ass. Really exciting, just absolutely love that shot. And this, I'm assuming, is the final look for Ultron. This doesn't look anything like the picture of Ultron that we got on the cover of Entertainment magazine, so most likely he will be upgrading himself, which he does in the comics, so I guess he'll be doing that in the movie. He does seem to have teeth, which is kind of strange. Possibly this was an idea from Tony Stark to make him as humanistic as he can get, and that's why he gives him teeth or something. I'm not quite sure. He looks intense, he looks menacing, he looks mean, and he looks just amazing. Absolutely love it. A great realistic look at a comic god of a villain, because he is the Avenger villain in my mind. When I think of Avengers villains, I think of Ultron. So it is great to see such a great representation of the character being voiced by a great actor to voice him. So overall, everything in this trailer was positive. It's got a very dark tone, and people, I heard them saying, you know, oh, I hope they still have jokes and stuff like the other Marvel movies. It of course will. You know, what other movie had a very dark tone that was a Marvel movie? Iron Man 3, and I would consider that the movie that didn't take itself seriously just compared to all the Marvel movies, this one didn't take itself seriously the most. It had the most jokes. I mean, its whole villain was centered on a joke, and it was a very goofy movie, and in my opinion at least, and that had an amazing trailer. So I'm hoping that this amazing trailer doesn't, I hope that it is actually an amazing movie. I'd be surprised if it isn't, though, because this just looks great. I have confidence in Josh Whedon, and I have confidence in everybody working on this movie, because they did a wonderful job on the first one. So I hope this one just takes it up to the next level, and we get an amazing Ultron with some new amazing characters. Some things that we didn't see in this trailer would be Baron von Strucker. You know, we didn't see anything that was 100% Hydra. Sorry about that, my camera ran out of memory. So yeah, so like I was saying, we did see things that could have been Hydra, but we didn't see anything that was for sure Hydra, so that would have been nice. As well as we didn't see Don Cheadle in armor. Of course, we saw him at the party, but we didn't see him in an Iron Patriot or War Machine armor, or whatever that he could be in. Apparently, for the most likely part, he will be wearing a War Machine armor and not an Iron Patriot. But I really did want to see it, because if he was wearing an Iron Patriot suit, I would have went out and bought the Hot Toys Iron Patriot, because you know, the figure looks awesome, but I'm not willing to buy it because I really just didn't like him in the movie that he was in. The Iron Patriot sucked in Iron Man 3, so if he was going to be in this movie, I would buy it, because I'm sure that he'd be great in this movie. So without knowing that, I'm not quite sure, and so that's disappointing. Would have liked to see him in his armor, even if we didn't get a cool fight scene with him. At least if just to see him in his armor would have been great. As well as there was one more. Oh, Vision. We didn't see Vision. I wasn't expecting to see Vision. I mean, Vision is something that they seem to be trying to keep under wraps here, and they need something more for the next trailers. They can't just keep showing you new action scenes. They need to show you new characters and new plot devices in the trailers to keep it interesting, to keep it fresh, because they've got a long time before the movie comes out. So so they did keep out a couple things, which will make for great things in the second and third trailer before the movie comes out. So overall, very excited. This was a fantastic trailer. I have to say, this might be the best trailer I've ever seen, or at least my favorite trailer. It's just pure gold in my opinion. The only other trailer that I like so much like this would be Iron Man 3, and that movie was quite disappointing to me. So it does worry me. You know, just because the trailer is good doesn't necessarily mean the movie's going to be great, but I'm sure it will be, actually, because this just looks absolutely amazing. So very excited to see this. Love to hear your guys' opinions on this trailer and what you think the movie will have in store. Very sorry for this incredibly long video. Didn't expect to, I expected this to be like a 12-minute video, so this really went on for a while. So there you go. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and see you next time.